Hello everybody. So yeah, continuing on our journey with to-do list, we'll try to see a little bit more. So let's go to let's go to um, yeah, let's have our basic. So we were here, right? So now let's see what is happening in here. So let's open. Okay, just let me check if my displays. Yeah, let's drop this one now. Let's have the site convey. So now let's see how React is going to control, right? How my so React needs to control everything, right? Because um let's see how the input tag works in normal HTML. Okay, so now so this is the input, right? So this is my input tag. Now I have so I want this in so if it's a normal HTML input, browser manages the value, right? But we don't want our browser because we want a virtual DOM to click of the React to come into picture, right? So for that virtual React DOM to work, we need React to manage this input, right? So what we need to do is instead of the browser managing, here we need React to manage it. So for that, what we are going to do is first is we are going to add an on change, right? So the moment we are going to first is basically we are going to listen to an event called as on change, and then uh, the moment we are going to click on add submit, we are going to okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to this we are going to keep on adding this value to our string, right? So this is adding to the string, and then so this value has to be displayed in the input, right? So there is something called as value, and now here I'm going to have in my state which I have used, right? So I'm going to have my task state, which is going to so what curly braces is basically saying this is Java, this is JS, right? So the curly braces here is going to say this is JS, and then I'm going to assign the value to this variable value, which is going to display on the so anything you type goes in this value tag, right? Value attribute, right? So what we're doing by that, what we are saying is the moment there is a non change, so we are going to assign that to my task, and then I'm going to display that thing in my value attribute, right? So by this what we are doing is we are getting more control. So okay, let's now okay, this so what we are going to do is let's now come back to our let's close this, let's have this thing open, or you know what, mm, I can do something, let's maximize this. So right now this is okay. Let's not get rid of okay, yeah, let's keep this closed, and then oh this is let's have this thing, let's only have the screen. So let's minimize, let's get let's make it as small as possible so that it's there on the screen itself, but does not hamper our view, right? Because uh, Is it this box, right? This is my sidecar. So you can make the sidecar a little bit smaller. Uh, let's place it say over here. Or let's have it even. Let's and then let's have the bank or on main screen taking the entire possible space. Let's have it to let's grow on both the sides. Uh, yeah, let's this thing. And on top somewhere I'm going to get that screen. Yeah, so uh, yeah, no, it's okay. So let's get back to our code sandbox. Okay, so now we need to do this. We need to add this we need to add this. We need to add this state management, right? We want React to manage the state. So let's come here and then. So now this is going to get set in my set task, right? So set task is the state, which is basically going to set this variable. So then now I'm going to do something like uh, value, and then inside that I'm going to add my task. So the moment I'm going to add this, this value is going to get updated as well. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to add this on handle submit. We are going to add this task to our set list, right? We need to have that list which is being generated. So first, so what if this is going to be empty? Like what if I do an empty submit? Should that work? No. So what I'm going to check is if a task is empty string, then don't do anything. However, okay, if yeah, we are just making if the task is not empty, right? So that will be true when if it's an empty, then it will be a truthy falsy value is empty string a falsy value, I guess. Is empty string I guess it is a falsy value. So yeah, so an empty string is going to be a falsy value. Um so the moment it's false, I'm going to come out, right? And then here I'm going to basically set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my list. Now this is a bit tricky, right? So for so um okay, so there are two possibilities when we are going to set my list, right? First is if the list is already empty. First is when the list is empty, and second is when we are having elements in the list, right? So when we are having elements in the list, so we need to add the previous list as well. So it is going to be previous list plus my new task that is going to be kept inside my list array, right? So now so if you go here, so what I need to first I'm going to do is this is going to be an array, right? So first I'm going to spread my previously set list. If there is any previous list, no, not yep. If my previous list that I'm going to add, and then to add in the new element, I'm going to do my task. Why am I getting error? So have type string is not assignable to type. Uh, no, this is something. So I have two. So basically, I'm going to expand this list, and so list is basically an array, and then I'm going to set this. So I'm expanding my and adding my task inside the array, right? Hmm. Okay, what's this? This is something TypeScript related issue. Let's say. Uh, so how was the? I need to add this generic here saying this is a string array. Yeah. So on the references, this won't come in JavaScript because there you have that. Okay. Is it string? Also, yeah, I just needed to add saying that this is a string array. That is basically never used, right? So then now I'm going to I've set my task, right? So basically in the array I have my task and previous task as well as the new task. But then before going that, so this is basically when I'm going to do add, right? But then I need to because the state okay, now there is this task is a state variable, right? So task is state. That means it will have or it will restore previous string, right? So we don't want the previous string to be present. Once added, once added to the list, we want to remove this. So once added to the list, uh, remove this. So what we are going to do is we are just going to do set tasks to an empty string so that it's clear. So let's do set task and then let's have an empty string coming here. This is basically an empty string just to clear the string. Nothing, nothing rocket science here. And here we are just going to do art. Basically, we are going to prevent the default behavior that is going to kick in. So, okay, this is. Mm, yeah, prevent form. So, what is the prevent? I'm just going to do that. I guess this is like an inbuilt. Oh, I have a message. No. So now, but I use this. Right? I'm parameter e has an implicit type any. What's the quick fix? Okay, that's that is not an issue right now. And so now we have got our task in the list, right? So now we have added the. So basically, our tasks are all present in an array. So what we can do is now to display it on the browser, we need some to display it on the browser. We need this to be inserted uh, some sort of tag, right? And okay, so what we since the way it is going to be shown is like uh, basically like a list, right? So we have different sections here. So this is element one, and then we are going to add we are going to make a list, right? So right now we are not dealing with hand on delete. We are just going to display whatever our task is inside below the form, right? So this is the form. So uh, let's have an ordered list over here, and then the content has to be is what JavaScript, right? So I'm just going to loop over every element. So I'm going to loop over my task list array, and then I'm just going to map it. Yeah, I'm just going to have that. What do you say? So basically, first is going to be the element inside the array, right? And then so to what I'm mapping is okay, I'm going to map this to so let's have okay, this is going to be mapped to my, and then here is where my inside this is basically my content, right? So you have the content coming here. Now cannot assign read only property message of object to do list expected token. Is there somewhere a parenthesis that I'm missing? Okay, so this is my JavaScript code. Now I'm going to do map, and then this is that. So here, so basically, map can take into a parameters, right? So ID is basically the index. So what I'm going to do is, and then here let the okay, this is basically for that unique identification. Although ID is not a very good way, because when you change the elements in the array, then the ID also changes. So uh, that is okay. Okay, uh, this is a no. This is basically array dot map, right? That is working here. So let's do array dot map. So array dot map, it's uh, uh, basically it is going to loop through to array and is going to return a new array, and then also on which I'm going to operate the function inside. So how does array dot map is working? So array dot, so inside this it's a function that is going to, where basically that is going to work on, this is basically going to work on individual elements, right, of the array and return a new array. So the return is going to be a new array. Okay, so now, so inside the map as itself is okay. Okay, this is for my, okay, let's get rid of all of this. Okay, so I am going to do array dot map, right? So this is span, this is the inside I'm going to take in the function which has two parameters, items and id, and this is going to return a new set of array, if I believe. This for the okay. What is the error which is coming? Okay, we will see that. So basically this is going to return and list. Now the content of the list is going to be items, and then I'm going to have here a parameter attribute called as key that is going to be my id. Not assign read only property. No, it should work, right? So this is the JavaScript. Oh no, wait. This is the inner function that is coming in, right? Oh, is it like a well, this is so I have my map, and then inside that I have my function that is present, and then in the li, what's the even I have given the key as well. So I have my items, my id. This is my, I guess it's parenthesis issue. I don't know. Oh, oh yeah. So basically, what I need to do is I just need to. Instead of round, instead of curly, I need to have a round braces here, and this is JS, right? So, this has to close here, and then we have this thing over here, and now what's expected? Oh yeah, this has to go. Then why is it expecting a? So my items has come. Oh yeah, this map also is there, right? So, uh, the moment I do, when is this going to get triggered? Is that is something that I need to. So I have this thing already generated. So right now I haven't added. The only feature that I is left to add is to remove this thing. Oh, okay. I need to add. Besides this li, I need to have a delete button as well, right? So I have items here, and then so each item has a button as well, right? So let's just add in a button tag. Now when you add in the button tag, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say this is be going to be delete, and yeah, that is basically all related to spacing, right? Now when I go on click, I need to do, so I need to handle this on click, right? So when I do an on click, I need to call a function, right? So that function is basically so I'm going to call here something, right? So basically this function is going to return me so I need to hand click, and then in that I'm going to pass an ID. Now hand click has to be defined here. So the moment I do handle delete, okay, yeah, I can do handle. Basically, the unique identification for each of them is going to be um, the ID, right? So yeah, I can go on that ID in the array and then remove that item. So now we need to come here. We need to add in one more. Let's go to handle. Just going to do this handle delete, right? Now this is again, but then this is going to take in a parameter, right? Because this is not an empty, so this is going to have an ID which is going to be passed. I'm going to pass this ID from here. So this is going to come from here, so I'm going to do handle delete. What's the, oh, cannot assign read only property, syntax error. Cannot find name or delete, oh yeah, because that has gone out. So on click, when I have the delete, when I click it, then I'm going to make a call to handle delete, and inside that I'm going to pass in an ID itself. Oh, I guess I didn't close the function. Now see, and then I'm going to hand. Okay, now this is not used, but then now I need to remove that element, right? So the way I can do is, now that array is basically task list, right? So I can do filtration over here, and then I need to construct a new list. So and the new list has to be assigned to my set task, right? So this is, okay, so first set list will be assigning that newly created list, right? So this is new list which is going to get created. How it's going to create it is what we are going to see. So now let's have this const. This is basically referring, right, reference, because arrays are object. And now this new list is going to be my task list uh, dot map dot filter. And then so now no, this is not a tag, this is task list. This has to be a function, like, so this is my array method strings filter. Okay, so now this is going to be filter, and then again this takes in a function, right? And then I need to filter that array. So basically that logic I need to have inside, right? So if my and then if my item okay, this is going to take in two parameters, right? So the first is going to be so first is basically the string itself, right? I mean the specific string that is coming in, and then I need the item ID. So item ID in our case is just the indexes, Okay, so now I'm going to check if past that the index, if that index, only keep those indexes. Okay. Oh, so this has to be item ID here. So what I'm doing is I'm passing in the index. So for example, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So the moment I click on delete, so I'm going to pass this index over here, ID, and then what I'm doing is I'm creating a new list. Now I'm filtered. The first is going to be the string itself. The second is basically my index, because I'm comparing the index. This is my so if so the as long as this is false, that element is going to get added to the new list, right? So um so for so as long as this is true, that items will be added. The moment this is false, that item is going to get out. But then id is id as so for example, if I delete it, oh, see, the filtering has also started. So if I can do first task, just add it here, then I can do second task. So now what, and then let's add in a third as well. So I do a third task as well. Now if I delete my second task, then that should go and third has come up. If I remove the first, then this becomes, then there is none left. Okay. Now remaining what is left is basically styling. Styling is what is left. So you can, now I'm going to have two things here, right? So this is my list and button, right? So you can come here, give this as a class name, say list. Let's go back to CSS. Let's come to CSS, make this flex. So I'm going to do display. Oh, it's already, yeah. I'm just going to make it a little bit more. What happened? Why did the task go? Oh, is there list reviews anywhere else as well? Mm, is this shrinking? I just need to arrange the space between, and then I'm going to do gap of say one rem. Let's align them. Uh, align. Just justify content center. Now, so they are going to get aligned as well. So by default, what is going to happen is, oh, it's coming here. That whole thing is coming here, but I don't want that. Okay. Mm, I can add this thing inside a div. Maybe that would be much better. So instead of directly placing this, you have a div inside which you are doing this thing, and then you kind of arrange inside the div instead of putting this whole list coming up here, right? Okay, so let's have a div tag. Let's cut this thing out. Yeah, let's paste this inside my div. Right? Oh, so now this is inside the div, right? Oh, the UL is outside. No, that this is div, and then inside I have one. This has to be typed out, and then give this a class name as list. Let's add this as a class name. Now let's refresh it. So right now there is no task, right? Uh, 19 so this has to be a block level, so UL has to come down. So I go to my styles.css. Let's increase this to 3 rum. Or let's go to li and get rid of those dots. So let's go to li and decoration has to be none. Is it text decoration none? Oh no. What's the oh, list style. So you come here and do list style none. The dot is gone now. And in my okay, to do list, oh, this I don't need. This div is having this li and this button, right? So right now I'm having two elements. One is this. Oh, this button is inside the li. Or you can. Well, let's go to button and add a little bit of margin itself. Then we need to be careful. There is a button here as well. And then okay, just don't make this flex. This is not. Okay, so now I'm going to add my task. That the reason is this div is already flexed somewhere. It's inheriting from somewhere. I don't know from where, but then yeah. So now it's come here. Let's go to li. Make that list style none. Now I need to add margin right to this button. So what we can do is we can come to li button and then let's add so let's add margin left maybe 1 rum and then let's and then let's give this a background color, say blue. This is too dark. Let's have a light blue sort of a color in there. Lightish blue is okay. Let's get rid of the border. Let's add in a padding inside. This is text, right? So it's going to do padding inline and say 1 rum and then add padding block, say 1 so that it's instead of 1 let's add it like 0.5. Yeah, this is looking better. Let's give it a border radius of say 0.5 pixel maybe. But I'm going to give that a border, right? We need 0.5 is too small. Let's give 1. Let's make it 5. And this is a little bit more curved, right? Let's have this. Um, yeah. So that is all for our first machine coding problem. That was basically creating a to-do list. I hope you guys liked it. We did a little bit CSS as well. But yeah. So I guess that's all for this session. I hope you guys liked it. I'll see you in the next one. Till that time, take care. Bye bye.